Talk. Today we have an awesome guest, and he's back for the second time around. His name is John Mitchell. So thank you so much, John, for joining us once again.
Josie, thanks very much for having me. I'm very excited to be here, and I'm very excited to bring some good information to the audience out there.
Yes, and do we have a treat for you? But I want to tell you a little more about John. He's been working in the tax field science since 1990. He holds a Master of Science in Taxation and holds both a law license and an enrolled agent license. John is a member of the National Association of Enrolled Agents, NAEA, and the National Association of Tax Professionals, NATP. John is on the board of directors of the Texas Society of Enrolled Agents and the Greater Houston chapter of TXC. John is a recognized expert in the field of taxation, being a fellow of the National Tax Practice Institute, as well as being a public speaker on tax matters and having featured articles published in national tax trade publications. So, today's topic that we are going to hit today, John, this is very exciting because he was telling me that this is something he does every day, and it's negotiating with the IRS. I don't know if you know how to negotiate with the IRS, but definitely John is an expert. So jumping into topic, how can I negotiate with the IRS if I owe back taxes or have a tax dispute?
Well, the first thing to remember is you're not going to jail, probably, most likely.
I was concerned about that.
Yeah, you know, a lot of people are very scared, and rightfully so. The IRS is a very powerful agency. They can do a lot, and even short of going to jail, you don't want to face that wrath. So the first thing I would say is, if you have any kind of idea that you have a tax problem, jump right on it, because the sooner you get to it, the better. And we negotiate with the IRS all the time. I do this every day. And you know, the thing about it is the IRS wants to get paid. Mm-hmm. And in fact, the revenue officers, their mandate is to get as much money as possible as soon as possible. Absolutely. But life happens. And so there comes a time when you can't pay, or you can't pay at all right now. Mm-hmm. And that's when we jump in as professionals. And, I'll tell you something funny. A client once said to me, "Man, the IRS must hate you." And I said, well, I understand why you would say that, but actually no, because the IRS appreciates having somebody on the other side of the table that knows the rules and knows what's going on and can kind of make it quicker and easier for them to get to the resolution that they want. So they want to get paid. You want to, do what's right, pay your taxes and get all caught up. And so that's what we do. We help you walk through that entire process.
That sounds awesome. And, what are the options that are available for setting tax debt, such as offer in compromise or installment agreements and things like that?
Mm-hmm, yeah. Installment agreement is basically you owe the IRS an amount of money. You can't pay them right now, so we set up a payment plan whereby you can pay them in monthly installments, right? And there's a couple of ways that can happen. The main thing is the IRS would prefer if you can just pay the tax debt within the statute of limitations, because a lot of people know this. They don't know exactly how it works, but eventually tax debts do fall off the system, right? They eventually become unable to be enforced by the IRS. And so they want to get it all paid before then. And usually what they want you to do is pay as much as you comfortably can pay. And we would do a financial statement for them, income and assets versus debts, liabilities and inflow versus outflow, and figure out along with the IRS how much money can you afford to pay per month. So that's an installment agreement. Mm-hmm. Offering compromises, I owe you $100,000, I'm going to pay you 10. Right, so that's what they call compromise, right? So and there, it's not as easy as pennies on the dollar, like they make it sound on the radio. But those situations do work. In fact, I've paid less than a penny on the dollar in some cases, right? So it all depends on the facts and circumstances. If you have not enough assets and not enough income to pay, you'd be a candidate for an offer and compromise. And then there's one other that a lot of people don't mention, but there's currently not collectible status. And that's where you tell the IRS basically, hey, I know I owe you money. It's the correct amount. I'm not fighting that. I don't have money, and I don't know when I'm going to have money. It might be that I have money later. Typically, that would be people that are in the hospital, you know, and so the IRS will agree to a 6-month or 12-month period or whatever. They'll just put the pause button on collecting, and you're in a non-collectible status, they call it. So those are the big three.
Okay, and you know, if there's anything particular that I need to do before I enter a negotiation with the IRS, any paperwork or any statements that I need to gather?
Yeah, the two big things, if you're going to make any kind of arrangement with the IRS, the two big things are, number one, you have to be in current compliance. What does current compliance mean? That means as of today, all the tax returns that you are supposed to have filed are filed, and all the current payments that you need to be making are up to date. You can have balances due, and you do have balances due, by, you know, if you're in this situation. But let's say you're supposed to be making quarterly, every 3-month tax payments. Did you make the most recent payment? Right? So you got to be currently in compliance, because they want to see a breaking point. They want to see the problems are in the past, and from this point forward, I'm going to, you know, do it right. So that's the number one thing. Number two thing, in order to justify either an installment agreement or an offer and compromise, you're going to have to demonstrate to the IRS that you don't have money to pay them in full today. So, you know, we do a financial statement. So if you're in that situation, the thing I would recommend is make sure you're in compliance, and I can help with that. And also make sure that you gather up financial type documents. Typically, they ask for the last, let's say, 6 months worth of bank statements, and they'll ask for you know, your bills, mortgage, rent, whatever, utilities. And so we fill out a financial statement, what you got coming in, what you got going out, and go from there. And we have to back that up with documentation. So, you know, very important to get all your documentation in order.
I'm assuming that they need to figure out, is this something that is circumstantial, that can get fixed later, or this is something that you're just going to do. You're just going to owe money forever and ever and ever. And that is the advantage of having you as a person that can be, you know, advising and consulting on matters like this.
Right, and make the proper argument to, you know, to the IRS. I'll tell you one story. I had a home health company. And the owner of the company was in her 70s, a very elderly lady, and she didn't get some paperwork filed, and ended up, there were about 800 nurses, a pretty big size company, nurses and nursing aides and stuff. They sent out to sick people's homes to take care of them. And the lady didn't get the paperwork filed, and there was a couple of $1 million worth of penalties. And so what we ended up doing, the lady got cancer and unfortunately passed away. And so now there's this company, and the court ordered a kind of caretaker type person to watch over the business. And basically what I did is I went to the IRS. I said, yes, this paperwork didn't get filed. These penalties are probably you know, able to be asserted, but here are the facts and circumstances. The lady was very elderly, got cancer. She didn't know the paperwork was not in order, and so I was able to make the proper arguments and tell them, look, are you going to leave all these? Are you, IRS, going to leave all these sick people without care? And are you going to cost all these jobs, because these penalties are so high? They're going to put this company out of business.
Yeah. Good job, John.
Well, thank you.
Well, in any case, make sure you call John if you have any questions, or if you have some concerns about your taxes, and if you owe taxes, definitely give him a call. His information, I want to ask you, how do people get a hold of you?
Yeah, I am in Houston, Texas, Greenway Plaza. Of course, we have clients all over United States, and even in foreign countries. I have clients in Mexico City and Guadalajara. But I can be reached by telephone, 888-333-0555. And I can also be reached by email, jmitchell@cctaxlaw.com.
Well, thank you so much, John, for visiting. I hope you come back soon. I had 1 million questions to ask, but unfortunately we do not have time, but we'll see you soon. And do not go away. We'll be right back on Biz Talk.
My name is Andrew Glisson. Over the past 4 years, I've built a portfolio of over 200 single-family rental properties that generate over $200,000 a month in income. I've put together a 6-step formula to help you consistently acquire rental properties that cash flow $250,000 or more a month and have $30,000 or more of equity built into them. This includes starting right, becoming bankable, buying right, renovating right, exit strategies, property management, and many more modules. Best of all, if you're not totally blown away by the content, we offer a 30-day, no questions asked, money-back guarantee. If you're ready to build generational wealth for you and your family, look me up at sfruniversity.com.
Hey, Lily says AT&T's giving everyone their best deals.
Minus the air quotes.
Best deals.
No need to wink. Others say they give everyone a deal, but not everyone gets the best deal.
Told you, the best deals are for everyone here, with a choice of plans.
You were right.
Is she always right?
Always.
At AT&T, we give everyone our best deals on every smartphone.
Welcome back to Biz Talk. I am Jilcy Sanchez, your host for today, and we have a special guest for today. His name is Manesh Ibar, and I want you to meet him, and I want to welcome him. First of all, I want to welcome you, Manesh. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Thank you. I'm very good, Gilsey. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. I want to tell you a little more about Manesh. He's an internationally recognized executive coach and personal spiritual guide who empowers high-power individuals to tap into their true essence and genetic consciousness to unlock their inner genius and drive positive charge for the planet and society. With over 15 years of experience, Manesh has guided thousands of individuals worldwide through personalized spirit activation, individual genetic code, mapping, energetic system, realignment, and a unique strategy that fosters synchronicity, harmony, and power. So, Manesh, this is very interesting what you do. And I want to ask you a question. How does meditation serve as a powerful tool for enhancing mental fitness? And what specific techniques do experts employ to, cultivate focus, clarity, and emotional balance that can be particularly beneficial in high-stress business environments?
That's a great question. And meditation actually does help tremendously, especially with focus and clarity. Basically, the mind has a way of overstimulating itself, and today in our social media and overly stimulating environments, meditation can help us realign and find a certain base to our mind's conscious awareness that relaxes it into its wisdom brain. There's actually different frequencies that the mind can get into that have different effects for business, for creativity, for focus, etc. And so by activating different meditation techniques, you can get into different levels of frequency in your brain wave so that you can focus on what you want to do. Whether you want to work spiritually, you're going to go use theta waves. If you want to go and be more productive at work, you're going to want to try to get into alpha waves, things of that nature. And so certain meditations can guide you into those frequencies so that the mind actually performs.
That's very interesting because, as business owners or entrepreneurs, we are like you say, overstimulated, but then also have so many responsibilities. And we need to be aware that sometimes we are not taking care of our inner selves. And so that might be, projected into our work and environment and productivity. So that is very interesting. So in this world of business, data-driven decisions are crucial. What scientific evidence exists to support the tangible benefits of meditation, such as its potential to enhance cognitive functions, reduce stress, and ultimately improve overall well-being?
Yeah, there's a lot of studies now that have been done. Heart Math has been doing some really interesting studies where they're not only using the brain and the neurology, but they're actually talking about the heart as well as our gut and seeing the symbiotic relationship between all three and how all three aspects of the invisible world, in a way, that is inside of us brings us into coherence, which then brings us into flow or into higher performance. The Dalai Lama has also been doing a lot of different studies about the different states of conscious awareness that you can enter through different meditations, and that has shown some very interesting science that gives, let's say, proof that meditation is very useful for different states of mind. So it depends, again, what you want to do. In terms of Joe Dispenza has a lot of different science as well in terms of healing and using meditation techniques to get into the states of mind that allow the body to heal itself, which is amazing. I mean, he healed himself from a back injury where he was supposed to be handicapped, and he's going around the world giving these meditations. So you can look at a lot of different studies now. I think the best, though, is to practice it and try it. And of course, there's a lot of different meditations out there. So which ones to pick? And I think there is a little bit of a trial and error. It's kind of like going to the gym or doing different sports. There's so many different ways of doing it, and you have to find the one that fits with you. So there's transcendental meditation, which brings you a little bit more into the spiritual. I have a whole course that I use, which is called Clairescence, which awakens an aspect of your energetic hygienes. And then if you go into the further advanced sections, you go deeper into the spiritual aspects so that you can benefit from the meditations.
That is awesome. And I'm sure that everyone around us can probably see the benefit once we are increasing in the meditation and whatever one we choose to do. Now, in the aspect of translated into increased productivity, given like we're business owners and small business and entrepreneurs, like how can this benefit translate to increased productivity and decision making, prowess on the corporate world?
Yeah, exactly. I come from the corporate world where I worked at Sony and then I worked with the UN, and I have about 3 businesses. So I actually use this quite a lot, not only in my healing practice, but actually for myself. And one of the main benefits is to be more centered and to understand your intuition, which is going to give you a lot of very momentary clarity on decision making. And I think decision making is one of the biggest hurdles to overcome when we have challenges and a timeline that's crushing. And so how do you make the best decisions? Meditation really helps because it activates, it's in a way, our brain has about a 20-minute function where it's quite performant, and then it starts wearing down, it starts getting tired. I call it the monkey brain takes over, and it usually does a lot of mess. So already just practicing a 20-minute intensity, 5-minute break where you do some other things that are a little bit more physical tasks, and you don't need so much mental activity. And then coming back to it, you're going to already increase your productivity drastically, because oftentimes the monkey that takes over makes a mess, which then takes a lot longer to fix, versus keeping you in flow. There's the flow state, basically, that helps us be in the highest performance of our own constitution so that we can thrive in whatever we do. I think also the stress that we take on as entrepreneurs, because we're responsible for so many things and people as well. Meditation allows us to kind of step into a relaxation, step into a breathing and a tranquility that brings the nervous system into calmness, which also enables us to perform better. So it's very, very useful. Obviously, I work a lot with individuals in personalization, where we have a subconscious pattern that is unique. And so this is where we start getting into the specifics of how you can perform better with this specific tool that's appropriate for you.
Okay, now that is amazing, and we all definitely need to contact Manesh. Unfortunately, our time ran out, but I do want to ask you, when can people reach you, and if you have a phone number, an email, and maybe it's being displayed, your information here, but tell us, where can we find you?
Absolutely. So the website is maneshibar.com, MANEXIBAR.com. I do have a phone number as well and an email, guidance@maneshibar.com. And I have a US phone number that is also on the site. And you can go on the site and just book a session. There's descriptions of the different sessions you can have, including executive sessions, personal sessions, family, and relationship, which is, of course, another aspect of our lives.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Manesh, once again for coming over and telling us this information. Now we can be relaxed and be productive, and I am sure we can see benefits in all aspects of our lives once we start practicing meditation. But for now, we were going to go to a very short break and come right back to Biz Talk.
Thank you.
These are the top 3 questions I get from people about investing in real estate. How much money do I need to get to the next level? How do I find good properties to invest in? Can I even make money in this business when interest rates are so high? I answer these questions and many more in my online course, SFR University, where I show you the strategy that I used to build a multi-million-dollar real estate business in 4 years from scratch. Whether you're just starting out or someone who's looking to scale, this course will have something for you. Join us at sfruniversity.com. See you in the course.
Hey, Lily says AT&T is giving everyone their best deals.
Minus the air quotes.
Best deals.
No need to wink. Others say they give everyone a deal, but not everyone gets the best deal.
Told you, the best deals are for everyone here, with a choice of plans.
You were right.
Is she always right?
Always.
At AT&T, we give everyone our best deals on every smartphone.
Todos quieren boletos de avión baratos, pero ¿dónde los encuentras? Llamando a Vuelos y Más. Sus precios vienen directamente de las aerolíneas y son tan bajos que no los vas a encontrar publicados en ningún otro sitio. Nos especializamos en garantizarles los boletos de avión más baratos, con descuentos en habitaciones de hotel, alquiler de carros y grandes ofertas en paquetes para cualquier lugar del mundo. No importa su destino, podemos ayudarle.
Gracias, Vuelos y Más.
¿Qué espera? ¡Llame ya!
Hey, Lily says AT&T is giving everyone their best deals.
Minus the air quotes.
Best deals.
No need to wink. Others say they give everyone a deal, but not everyone gets the best deal.
Told you, the best deals are for everyone here, with a choice of plans.
You were right.
Is she always right?
Always.
At AT&T, we give everyone our best deals on every smartphone.
Taking a trip in the next 12 months? Airlines are under tremendous pressure and they're practically giving away their unsold seats. Like every crisis, this one will end too. But right now is the best time to take advantage of giveaway ticket prices on their unsold seats. We're not allowed to publish these low fares online. The only way to get these rock bottom giveaway prices is to call. So phone low-cost airlines now for airline ticket prices you may never see again.
Hey, are you a small business owner that's struggling to double or triple your revenue and profits? My name is Michael Rager. I'm your business guide with Teach Your Business to Fish. Our success operating system will help you double or triple your profits every 2 to 3 years while actually maintaining some semblance of a home life. Call us at 713-201-5559 and we'll help you become a real success.
Welcome back, everyone, to Biz Talk. I am Jilcy Sanchez. I am your host for today. And you know, if you have not had the pleasure of meeting Mr. Stefan Whitwell, then you will today. It's your lucky day. And I want to, first of all, welcome Stefan. Welcome to the show. How are you doing?
Thank you, Jilcy. Doing great.
I'm glad to hear. I'm so excited for today's information, and we are going to jump right in because we don't have too much time, but I wanted to tell you a little more about Stefan. So he is an exceptional individual making waves in the business world. Stefan is the driving force behind Whitwell Company, bringing in wealth of knowledge and experience to the table. With a track record of success in financial advisory and strategic consulting, he's a visionary leader who thrives in the world of finance and entrepreneurship. So, Stefan, are we ready for today?
Let's do it.
Absolutely. But before we jump in, I do want to let you know a little reminder. Stefan's insights should not be considered formal investment advice, but rather general commentary, since investment advice is best given one-to-one based on your individual circumstances. So make sure you give him a call at the end so you can have that customized plan special for you, right?
That's right.
And today's topic with Stefan is going to be legacy planning. So what is the best approach for business owners to include their company assets in their estate plans?
You know, so for most business owners, the single largest asset in their, in their balance sheet is their company. Mm-hmm. And so when they are thinking about legacy planning and ultimately beginning to explore the idea of maybe selling their business one day, it is so important that the business really takes center stage. And so my first piece of advice for anybody watching the show today is to make sure that if the moment you begin to think about starting to explore the thought of selling, make sure that you've got a really good advisor that you can begin to plan ahead for, because there's some things that happen when you sell that will go much smoother if you haven't had time to prepare. And personally speaking, one of those things is about, like you said, Gilsey, legacy planning. And it's hard to do that last minute. And there's some really great things that you can do in advance of the sale that you can't do as easily right after.
Yes, and you know, when you're growing a company and you create it, you want it to last years and years and years. And a lot of them have the focus of maybe, giving it to a grateful nephew or a favorite son or daughter. And those are very important things that you need to be prepared for. But are there any tax advantages to transferring ownership to the business before retiring or passing it on to someone?
Yeah, there are. And one of the rules of thumb is that the things you can do before always pay off a lot more than the things you can do last minute or after the fact. And to kind of just give a couple examples, there are things you can do depending on your level of wealth that will help minimize your estate taxes. There's also some things that you can do that could help you reduce your amount of income taxes or your capital gains taxes when you ultimately sell. And the other thing, kind of the third thing to keep in mind, is that if philanthropy or giving back is important to you, then there are also some really great things you can do before you sell that will help you essentially give that much more by taking money that would otherwise go to the IRS and allow you to give that to whatever charity or nonprofit or cause is near and dear to your heart.
And you know, it's going to take a little bit to get to where you need to be to have that all in place. But then how can your business be structured to ease the process of that succession?
Yeah, so there's a big difference between running a company that's yours, where you really don't have to report to other people. You're not trying to impress anybody, so you may not care about how the financials look as much, as long as it's working for you. But when you go through a sales process, there's things you need to consider that will help you get a higher price, and that will make it easier for the buyer to ultimately help finance that transaction, or just frankly to leave the business in a better condition and set it up for success, which is what I'm sure what you want. You want your employees to continue to have a secure job. You want your clients to continue to be well served. You want your vendors to be paid on time. So there's some things that owners kind of have on autopilot, a lot of which is in their head, that needs to then be put on paper and create process around, so that when they're not there one day, the company will still thrive. From a legal entity standpoint, it's also useful to talk, to look at what kind of entity setup you have with your advisors. There's some entity structures like C Corps that private equity firms, for example, prefer to see when they're buying companies. There's some structures like S Corps that are sometimes a bit of a nightmare when you sell. But these are all things that can be fixed and you can tidy up beforehand. So again, it just pays to spend a little bit of time and effort early on looking at that, so that when the time comes, you've got a game plan and you're ready.
Now, getting ready for this, and there's so many things that you need to take into consideration. Is there a specific time, or when is a good time to start planning, and when is a good time to start structuring all this before you think of selling? 5 years, 10 years, 1 year?
That's a great question. I think 10 years, for example, is just too far in advance. Too much can happen. Who knows what happens 10 years from now, right? But I think 2 years is kind of the bare minimum. I'd say somewhere between 2 and 3 years gives you time to balance kind of working on this on top of your other responsibilities without feeling too overwhelmed. Like to work with people just a little bit at a time so that you can fit it into your schedule and accomplish that with minimal stress. Leaving it to last minute, frankly, what often happens is nothing happens. It just doesn't happen. And there's no worse feeling than after your transaction closing, finding out that, whoa, there's something I could have done that could have saved me $1 million, or, saved me a bunch of hassles on this or that. That's the worst feeling. So you want to really give yourself a little time to make sure that you can understand the options, understand the choices, and just prepare in advance. And that way, when the day comes, you'll feel confident, you'll feel prepared, and you'll be ready.
Absolutely. And then you can be relaxed and then just enjoy whatever benefits that you have, made your company into. Now, I wanted to ask you, where and when do people call you? Let me know your platforms, again, so people can create that customized plan with you directly, so they know exactly what are the things that they need to do, and that they need to come and prepare everything and have everything just as they need it to have it, to be prepared for whatever comes along.
That's right. think Gym Coach, but for your business, right? We're working with you along the way to help make your goals happen. You can catch me by phone at 512-766-7775, or feel free to reach out to me directly by email at Stefan, Stefan, at whitwelladvisors.com.
Thank you so much, Stefan. And we see their website there, and then make sure that you do call him and have everything in place, or for just some information. Maybe you don't see that, but later down the line, you can start preparing and noticing what you need to have in place. So, Stefan, thank you so much for joining us on our show and giving us such good information. We really enjoyed it.
You're welcome. Happy to be here.
Absolutely. So we will have him in another show, I'm sure. But right now, we're going to take a very small break and then come right back with Biz Talk.
Hey, Lily says AT&T's giving everyone their best deals.
Minus the air quotes.
Best deals.
No need to wink. Others say they give everyone a deal, but not everyone gets the best deal.
Told you, the best deals are for everyone here, with a choice of plans.
You were right.
Is she always right?
Always.
At AT&T, we give everyone our best deals on every smartphone.
Taking a trip in the next 12 months? Airlines are under tremendous pressure and they're practically giving away their unsold seats. Like every crisis, this one will end too. But right now is the best time to take advantage of giveaway ticket prices on their unsold seats. We're not allowed to publish these low fares online. The only way to get these rock bottom giveaway prices is to call. So phone low-cost airlines now for airline ticket prices you may never see again.
Hey, are you a small business owner that's struggling to double or triple your revenue and profits? My name is Michael Rager. I'm your business guide with Teach Your Business to Fish. Our success operating system will help you double or triple your profits every 2 to 3 years while actually maintaining some semblance of a home life. Call us at 713-201-5559 and we'll help you become a real success.
Welcome everyone to Biz Talk. I am your host for today, Josie Sanchez, and do we have a treat for you? We are going to present Jake Linville, and I wanted to welcome Jake. First of all, how are you doing, Jake? Welcome to the show.
Good. How are you, Josie?
I'm doing awesome. I'm very excited about today's show and all the information that you have for us today. But I wanted to tell you more about Jake. Jake is a certified public accountant that specializes in providing expert guidance tailored to the need of businesses and individuals. With extensive experience in controllership, public accounting, income tax, cost accounting, and software implementation, he is uniquely positioned to assist any size business in achieving financial goals. Jake is passionate about implementing and integrating cost-effective software solutions that significantly impact financial operations, while adding effective controls that mitigate risk and reduce cost. He brings a valuable blend of knowledge and experience, making him an ideal partner for businesses seeking to enhance their financial health, operations, and success. You are going to wonder, before today, how did I ever grow my business without Jake? So I am so happy to have you once again, Jake. And I wanted to jump in. So our topic for today is going to be growth and scaling, right? And if we're businesses, this is something that we want to do constantly. We do not want to stay in one spot for a long time. So at what point should I consider hiring additional staff or outsourcing tasks like bookkeeping or marketing or other things that are going to help my business grow?
I would say immediately, because you likely aren't going into the bookkeeping business or the marketing business. So I would say immediately outsource your bookkeeping, outsource your marketing, outsource anything that you are not focused on doing so that you can focus on what you do best and let folks like me do what I do best. The gig economy right now is fantastic for small businesses. If you need one small thing done, like a logo, or if you need bookkeeping or your bookkeeping cleaned up, you can find folks like me. You can go on Fiverr, you can go on all these other gig websites and get it done for a reasonable cost, and you don't have to hire somebody full time.
Absolutely. And this was just something that came up. I have a virtual assistant service. So absolutely delegating is something that you need to do. And I say, if you're an accountant, you do that. If you don't do marketing, then you need to hire that one out. Whatever is not your specialty, then you have people that can absolutely do it better than you, faster than you, giving you the time to do what you do best. So I absolutely agree that that needs to happen from the beginning. But another thing is, how do I approach financing options for scaling my business, such as maybe loans or venture capital? What can you say about this?
So if you have a 401k, I would highly recommend you consider what is called a ROBS 401k. It's ROBS. And I'll be clear here. The IRS isn't a big fan of them, but there are folks out there that specialize in managing the ROBS 401k. And so what it allows you to do is take your 401k funds and invest them in your venture as equity. And so your 401k for your business will own 100% or however much percent of your business. That's, from my perspective, the quickest way to get access to cash. That's if you have a 401k. Now, if you consider a loan or venture capital, both of those have positive sides and negative sides. So if you are going to get a loan, make sure before you get the loan or before you even go to ask for the loan, make sure that you can reliably make the debt service payments on whatever amount of loan you want to make. And in order to do that, you may need to work with a CPA such as myself. You don't want to put yourself in a bind where you have to choose between making the loan payment or paying your payroll. And secondly, with getting a loan, usually you'll get one with a bank, and a lot of times they'll put covenants on your loan. So what a covenant usually is a financial obligation that you have to report on to the bank. Like you have to keep X amount of dollars in a bank account that you can't touch, so that in case you don't pay your loan back, they can access that. Or you've got to submit your financial statements every so often, or you've got to meet certain ratios. Your debt can't be more than a certain amount of your assets, etc. So a lot of times loans come with strings attached. And so if you're okay with that, great. But I would highly recommend you hire your CPA to make sure that you can meet those obligations and then also report on them, because you don't want to spend your time doing that. But venture capital, that's another one. I would consider that to be a little bit more risky, if you will, than a loan. And this is why, because in venture capital, you end up giving up a portion of your business. You give away your baby to people that you don't really know. And there's a couple different personality types for venture capitalists out there. Sometimes they're going to want to come in and rework your entire organization. They're going to get up in your business, and you don't want that, usually. There's a reason why you went into business for yourself, is to be your own boss. And two, the one that you do want is one that will allow you to do what you do best. And they'll just provide the capital, and they'll want to report every once in a while. Those are the kind of venture capitalists that you want to have on your team. If they're going to be all up in your business and cause you more work, you don't even want to bother with that.
Absolutely. And it's that you need to weigh the pros and cons and see what is going to get you to where you need to be with the lower amount of risk, I guess. But in the interest of growing, what are the financials milestone that I should aim for when I'm planning the growth of my business? Is there a specific thing that I need to hit before I say, well, I'll go to the next step? Or what is it that I need to have?
Well, I would say first and foremost, the one thing that you need to plan for the most is make it past your first year. Because if you do that, you're going to beat about 18% of all new businesses. And then secondly, and this is more of a long-term goal, make it past 10 years. If you get past 10 years, you're going to beat about 50% of new businesses. But first and foremost, before you go into business, it's always best to put together a business plan. That way you can specify, okay, at this point, if I meet these goals, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. I'm going to buy this equipment. I'm going to do other things. But in that business plan, you need to understand your unit economics. And when I say that is if you're an inventory related business or a manufacturing related business, or even a service related business, each unit of your business. So if you're selling a widget, how much does it cost for each widget? What's your profit margin for each widget? How much does it cost you to collect money for each widget? But to answer your question, the goals that I would set are, in your business plan, make sure you get at least $1,000 in savings. And when you've got that, work towards getting $10,000 in savings. And after you've got that, make sure that you've got 2 months of cash on hand. And then 6, I'm a big fan of Dave Ramsey, and I love his principles where you just make sure you have enough cash on hand to meet your expenses.
I see, your minimum. Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, Jake. We have to go, unfortunately. If you can tell us really quick where to find you.
Sure. You can find me on bookmycpa.com. You can also find us at 406-480-6622. We're on Twitter, Facebook, all those fun things, and LinkedIn. I look forward to helping you.
Thank you so much, Jake. We'll be right back.
Hey, Lily says AT&T is giving everyone their best deals.
Minus the air quotes.
Best deals.
No need to wink. Others say they give everyone a deal, but not everyone gets the best deal.
Told you, the best deals are for everyone here, with a choice of plans.
You were right.
Is she always right?
Always.
At AT&T, we give everyone our best deals on every smartphone.
Taking a trip in the next 12 months? Airlines are under tremendous pressure and they're practically giving away their unsold seats. Like every crisis, this one will end too. But right now is the best time to take advantage of giveaway ticket prices on their unsold seats. We're not allowed to publish these low fares online. The only way to get these rock bottom giveaway prices is to call. So phone low-cost airlines now for airline ticket prices you may never see again.
Hey, are you a small business owner that's struggling to double or triple your revenue and profits? My name is Michael Rager. I'm your business guide with Teach Your Business to Fish. Our success operating system will help you double or triple your profits every 2 to 3 years while actually maintaining some semblance of a home life. Call us at 713-201-5559 and we'll help you become a real success.
Welcome, everyone. This is Biz Talk. I am Josie Sanchez, your host for today. And today we have a very exciting topic. This is something that's going on and it's very interesting. And our guest for today is Maurice. You may already know him. He's an old friend. So how are you, Maurice? Welcome to the show.
I'm doing great today, Josie.
Thank you so much for being here. I do want to tell you a little bit more about Maurice. Now, he is the CEO of Infinivate. Is that how you say it, Maurice?
Infinivate. That's really close enough.
So you know what? Something about he began his journey as a newspaper boy with only 8 years old. This early experience instilled a strong work ethic in him. So he later transitioned into a career as a software developer, sparking his passion for creating solutions in the fast-paced world of technology. As a sales professional, he forged countless relationships, building global partnerships to provide technical solutions. So Maurice's path to success is a testament to his determination and brilliance. So I am so happy to meet you finally, Maurice. I've heard wonders about you. And we are going to talk about today a very interesting topic. So I wanted, first of all, if you can give me a little overview or Infinivate and its core mission and its ever-evolving world in technology and solutions. So Infinivate operates in the fast-paced technology sector and a little bit of how it stays innovative and adapt constantly with all this fast-growing technology situations.
Absolutely, and then the technology changes every single day, and so what we do is we actually solve customers' problems. They'll come to us and say, "Hey, look, it could be infrastructure, it could be software." So, in regards to infrastructure, they may come to us and say, "Hey, look, can you go to this particular facility, meet this particular person? We're having a problem with our data center, which could be servers, switches, routers, access points, whatever, and we can actually resolve that problem." On the other end of the spectrum, if a client has a issue where they want to actually increase productivity or may optimize their operations, they may come to us and say, "Hey, we have a software development project. Can you actually go back and take this application, tweak it, so we can get these kind of deliverables and these kind of results?" So we work on both the hardware part and the software spectrum to solve our clients' problems.
Okay, that sounds awesome. Now, before the show, I wanted to ask you, because you had some information about cybersecurity and social media, and there was a situation about Meta that I think I wanted to ask you, what are the latest and what are the happenings on that?
Sure, great question. So this week, and I want to talk a little bit about what happened, why it happened, and then talk about how that actually correlates to the regular business that the owners and entrepreneurs are out there. 33 states got together and they filed a lawsuit against Meta. And Meta is actually Facebook and Instagram, as you know. And what they did was they followed a previous lawsuit that was filed earlier in the year in January by the city of Seattle. And what happened was the city of Seattle said, "Hey, look, we have a problem with our teenagers ages 13 to 17 where we're starting to see a pattern. We're starting to notice that mental health issues are starting to arise. The kids don't socialize with other children like they used to. We're starting to see an increased dependency on drugs and anxiety medications. And we're starting to say, what is the core root of the problem?" So they actually correlated this back to Meta, and they said that they think that with the algorithms that Meta has implemented on their systems, that the kids are being addicted to social media. And so they started off with those guys in Seattle in January, and recently 33 states built up a coalition saying we're going to file a lawsuit in the state of California against Meta, and we have 8 other states that actually have come forth. So now we have 41 states, that's about 80% of our states, are filing lawsuits against Meta Corporation saying that there is a problem with social media with our teenagers, and we need to go back and address the situation.
Ay, ay, ay. And what do you think is going to happen, though? Because, I mean, I hear what you're saying, and I understand, and we come from a different era, I'm going to say. And then kids these days are wired differently, and they're already born with cell phones. And it's very hard for us as having another experience. We're still hooked on our cell phones, and we're still on Instagram and Facebook just as much. We may not have developed the anxiety and everything because, you know, maybe we grew into it later on. But how do you think this is going to end up? How do you think this is going to affect then whatever goes on with the social media for us personally and also for our businesses, because we use it a lot?
Those are awesome questions. That's what the big debate comes up. And our Congress hasn't even addressed this issue yet. They're making aware of it, and they're talking about it, but there's nothing that's come out of it. And I think that we have a couple different issues with it. One, how do you actually regulate the usage of someone, like you said, that's actually utilizing these platforms 100% of the time? And one of the issues that we actually have would be the educators out there, the leaders of our schools are saying, yes, you may be able to regulate this when the children are at your home. However, you can't see what they do when they're with us. And the survey came out and said the average teenager between 13 and 17 spends 4.8 hours on social media platforms a day. That's across all the social media platforms. So it begs into the question, say, what do you do? And I think that what's going to happen eventually, they're going to have to come out just like they did back in the 60s or 70s, when they actually started regulating cigarettes and say, warning, this may be an issue. I think that we're going to see a more increased regulations in regards to, especially with that particular tender young age group. They're going to go back and verify that your parents actually consent for you to actually be on this particular platform. We may see more regulations in that particular manner, and I think that that's what's going to happen eventually. We may see a little bit more increased regulations. But how do you regulate something that everybody's using and using on a day-to-day basis? That's what the question comes about. How do you do that, and who decides that?
Yeah, and how can we, independently of what happens, can help out our own children? It's a very difficult situation. But anyways, we have 1 minute left, and what I wanted to do is I wanted to ask you, where can we find you if we have some technological apps, programs, if we need some help or want some advice, where can we find you?
Sure, absolutely. So people can actually email me at mhamilton@infinivate.com, and I'll be more than happy to get on a email, set up a conference call with you, and we could talk about maybe some of the digital transformational issues that you may be facing out there.
Absolutely, and then you can keep on track of what's happening on beta over there. So in any case, do not go away. We will take a short break and come right back on Biz Talk.
My name is Andrew Glisson. Over the past 4 years, I've built a portfolio of over 200 single-family rental properties that generate over $200,000 a month in income. I've put together a 6-step formula to help you consistently acquire rental properties that cash flow $250 or more a month and have $30,000 or more of equity built into them. This includes starting right, becoming bankable, buying right, renovating right, exit strategies, property management, and many more modules. Best of all, if you're not totally blown away by the content, we offer a 30-day, no questions asked, money-back guarantee. If you're ready to build generational wealth for you and your family, look me up at sfruniversity.com.
Hey, Lily says AT&T's giving everyone their best deals.
Minus the air quotes.
Best deals.
No need to wink. Others say they give everyone a deal, but not everyone gets the best deal.
Told you, the best deals are for everyone here, with a choice of plans.
You were right.
Is she always right?
Always.
At AT&T, we give everyone our best deals on every smartphone.
Welcome back, everyone, to Biz Talk. Again, Jilty Sanchez was your host for today. We had an awesome show today. So many wonderful guests and so much information for us as business owners. We talked about taxes. We talked about medication for the business mind, cybersecurity, which is so important that we need to implement and don't even think about it, accounting, and legacy planning. So I hope that you enjoyed our show and all the information, and that our guests were valuable to us. We enjoyed having you in this program and hope to see you for other programs. Mike Rager will be back next week with another episode of Biz Talk. For now, it's goodbye. Thank you so much.
This has been a NowMedia Networks feature presentation. All rights reserved.
Hey, Lily says AT&T's giving everyone their best deals.
Minus the air quotes.
Best deals.
No need to wink. Others say they give everyone a deal, but not everyone gets the best deal.
Told you, the best deals are for everyone here, with a choice of plans.
You were right.
Is she always right?
Always.
At AT&T, we give everyone our best deals on every smartphone.
Taking a trip in the next 12 months? Airlines are under tremendous pressure, and they're practically giving away their unsold seats. Like every crisis, this one will end too. But right now is the best time to take advantage of giveaway ticket prices on their unsold seats. We're not allowed to publish these low fares online. The only way to get these rock bottom giveaway prices is to call. So phone low-cost airlines now for airline ticket prices you may never see again.
Hey, are you a small business owner that's struggling to double or triple your revenue and profits? My name is Michael Rager. I'm your business guide with Teach Your Business to Fitch. Our Success Operating System will help you double or triple your profits every 2 to 3 years while actually maintaining some semblance of a home life. Call us at 713-201-5559 and we'll help you become a real success.
Todos quieren boletos de avión baratos, pero ¿dónde los encuentras? Llamando a